Hello, Abigail here with Tarotscopes for Aries season, Scorpio sun, moon, and rising. All right, my Scorpios, this is an exceptional Aries season. It starts off in between eclipses in the eclipse portal. Of course, the first day of Aries season is the spring equinox. So we have the chaos of the spring and the chaos of having the eclipses at the same time. We're heading towards that final Aries eclipse because we are going to be officially moving into the Pisces Virgo axis for the eclipses. The nodes have already shifted, but we're wrapping this up because the nodes, as you may or may not know, are a place in the sky. So it's about being adjacent rather than exactly what sign you were in. Pardon me. So yeah, it's a lot. Also, we will have Venus and Mercury re-entering into Pisces during Aries season and then stationing direct in April. Mercury retrograde is stationing direct on, there's my dog. He's beautiful and sweet, precious, and rotten. Anyway, sorry, distracted. On April 7th is when Mercury stations direct, and April 12th is when we get a nice little direct Venus. And it happens the same day as a really beautiful, mildly complicated full moon in Libra. Mercury is retrograde as I'm recording this. Hell. So yeah, it's a lot, but I do think like that full moon and even the eclipse in Aries. I think there are really beautiful gifts and treasures to be found in this season. It's just a lot, a lot, a lot. And then we have Neptune going into Aries at the end of March, right after that new moon eclipse. So just constant shifts and changes, and we're not really gonna get out of this energy fully until the summer. We will be clearing it as we go, but we have a lot of transitions and changes. It's going to loosen up in Taurus season, but as far as like getting things done and things feeling a little smoother, more like once Uranus goes into Gemini at the beginning of July. I'm just going to say that because all of these planets are at anaretic degrees, 29th degree. So we're going to have Saturn at the 29th degree for a second. Neptune is currently at it right now, or at least going to be really soon. Um, Uranus is going to be moving into that 29th degree before it moves in there. So there's just kind of feeling of like waiting and apprehension and like almost over the edge of something that is definitely going to color the year. So just know if things don't feel like they're going smoothly, it's okay. We'll get there. Also, I don't know that this energy is that bad for you. I was surprised that the Geminis really had a rough reading, but I think this energy might not be as hard to digest for you as it is for others. Being Mars ruled, also Mars went direct, so you at least have that kind of helpful. Your ruler's finally moving forward. And by the end of Aries season, right, I think the day before we go into Taurus season, it goes into Leo. So still in that post shadow period, but we are out of the fall position that Mars has been in for some time, and it'll feel good because I do love a Cancer Mars. Even in actually, I love all detriment and fall planets. There's something extra special about them. But we will feel a little better with Mars in a fire sign. Unless you're Virgo rising, and then maybe you don't. It's my Mars return. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, back on my game, refocused as someone with ADHD. Let's do your archetype card, which is the Venom, which I feel is very scorpionic of you. You know, it's about poison, and it's also about think intentional stuff. Venom is used for specific things. It's also about having a bit of a bite as a person. I think it is time, especially looking at the cards you've just been pulled. Time to be a little bit more Martian. Time to pull out the fangs. Time to use the venom at your disposal. And, this is kind of an intimidating card, I think, for some. But I think for Scorpios, this is the card of embodying self and using the resources that you have and applying venom when necessary and when needed. Um, so yeah, you sink your teeth into something, you know, devour the universe if you must. Be more Martian if possible. Engage in that resistance and that pushback. You are in a chaotic time. What would happen if you pushed and pulled on this energy and saw what occurred? I will say, it doesn't really show up in your card. Well, it kind of does with the death card. Yes, you got the death card, but it's your bestie. you know, you, I think, have a lot of power and pull in this season that a lot of signs are just not going to get traction wise. Now, obviously, if you have other placements, it's going to be a mixed bag, which you probably do. But allow yourself to kind of feel the power of who you are, to feel your own venom, to feel kind of the ability to both create and destroy. Venom can be used for really good things, and it can also be used to kill and maim and harm people. Um, Discover what that is, play with that. Find out how you can use what you have to protect yourself and those you love. And, you know, obviously don't go harming anyone who shouldn't be harmed, but you have a lot of power as a Scorpio placement, sun, moon, rising, any other planets, if you have a stellium, all those things. Don't constantly be trying to defang yourself to be acceptable to other people. That's what I'm trying to say. Use what you have. And then moving into it, we have the sun, which I think really fits this. It's about becoming more you this season. It's about embodying things. And the sun is exalted in Aries, so it's the perfect time to do that. It's when the sun feels really good about itself and also doesn't have very many responsibilities. So it's very playful and fun. Um, and you can be playful and fun and also a Scorpio, but in your own unique way, in a way that suits you best, in a way that you can be everything that you are and shine the brightest that you can shine. So, this season, it's about playing with who you are and who you want to be. Also, Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde is a good time to try on new things, new clothings, new thoughts, new ideas, to rethink the way we've been doing stuff and ask yourself, is this the thing? Are these the things? Is this the stuff that makes me the most happy, that makes me feel the most me and the most desirable and expansive, and what's taking my energy, what's giving my energy? A lot of the important things that come with being a Mars ruled sign is really digging into being ruled by Mars, which means you need to pursue things that you crave, that you hunger, that you desire. And a part of that is going after things that give you energy versus things that are pulling your energy and sucking it out of your body. So, what are some things that are no longer adding to your solar power? What are the things that are draining you and sucking the life out of you? Kind of the opposite side of venom, when people are venomous to us. What is sapping? Oh, there goes the neighborhood crow again. Ugh. I live in a city and they're several blocks away, which might not seem far, but it's hard to build a relationship in New York City with a crow if they are not right next to you. One day, maybe I will find a way to exchange trinkets. Anyways, back for my hopes and dreams. Um, what gives you joy? What gives you a spark? What helps you continue in the way that is most easeful and natural to you? So, if the energy is trying to strip away some stuff, maybe just let it go because it was draining you anyways. And it wasn't really allowing you to have and to be the person that you truly wanted to be in the most easeful way. I think sometimes, especially if we are, driven a lot with one of the malefics, so Mars or Saturn, there is this feeling or this need to do things in a way that's difficult. It also very much depends on where your Mars is. But like that difficult things are good, and they are to a certain degree, but like maybe easy things are good. Maybe the stuff that's meant for us is good. Maybe the things that are most attuned to us are good, and so we don't have to struggle all of the time. And like maybe we have a journey and something that we want and it's a struggle, but we get fed as we struggle, that's one thing. But if you're pursuing something that constantly drains you and constantly exhausts you, maybe that's not the dream for you. Just some questions to ask ourselves during eclipse season and Venus retrograde, because Venus retrograde is about values. It's about what you value and where you put it, and specifically where this retrograde falls in your chart is kind of the theme of the values you're discussing. Capricorn retrograde a couple years ago, fifth house, I was in a creative field. And then I realized I didn't want to be in that creative field because it didn't align with my values. Voila, the magic of a Venus retrograde. And no, I didn't really get the message until we were on the other side of things. But I was born in a year and in the degrees of a Venus retrograde. So it does take me a little more time to process Venus retrograde stuff. But just keep an eye out for where your desires are going, for where you're getting energy and receiving energy versus where it's being taken from you, because I don't know that that's meant for you. And then next we have the devil, which has been popping up a lot. And I will say what I've said to everyone else: coping mechanisms. You need them, you got them, use them. In times like these, we are so often taught that coping mechanisms are bad. Now, they can become harmful if they have outworn their welcome or they are harmful to ourselves and others. But all of us use coping mechanisms on a day to day to survive a system and society and a world that is not built for health. It is not built for people to be healthy. And I'm not talking about not disabled, because I am disabled, but to live life to its fullest and have your needs met. It's not built for that. So all of us have a set of coping mechanisms to help us survive. What ones can you use and rely on this season? What coping mechanisms can you use to digest this energy, to make it through what is a really intense time for a lot of us? Um, I will share mine, which I think a lot of Scorpio places will appreciate. I read spicy things. So, spicy Regency novels were the last two Venus retrogrades. This time it's spicy manga. Um, what works for you. And it doesn't have to be that. It can be watching TV, a TV show, or binging something, or a phone game, or, going outside and putting off your chores because do they matter right now? If you can put it off, why not? Um, so yeah, just a lot of really complicated energy, a lot of stuff is happening. How can you cope healthily? How can you take care of yourself and protect yourself by providing yourself a means of escape? And escaping doesn't mean disassociating, it doesn't mean pretending the world is not the way it is. It just means that you have a place to decompress so that you can continue to fight and you can continue to activate and you can continue to rebel against the systems at large and not get burnt out. That is a message from the devil. It's also with Mars in fall and Venus in detriment and Pisces going to be in detriment as we go into that signs. And I am repeating myself here. I've 100% had to say this multiple times in these readings because the themes are so consistent. Um, it's about subversion and diverting things and changing up the way we do things in order to get the things that we need and things that we want. And if you have detriment or fall planets, you will look back in your life and you will see where you have had to subvert things in order to get the things that you need, where you have had to rely in certain places and put your energy in certain spaces that are unusual to get what you need to take care of yourself. And this is the same situation. How can we activate the devil to get the things that might not be like generally considered appropriate, but are functional for us? It's about living a unique and diverse life and enjoying as much as we can rather than fitting some bizarre mold or expectation from society. And the devil's not here for that one. And then next one, I do love this. We get the 10 of Cups, which is why I think this season might be a nice kind of power build for you. There is so much that you have and you're ready to attain. I love how this elephant is throwing water back into its cups, filling them up. Like, how can you fill up your cups? And how can you count your cups? And how can you drink from your cups? And where are your cups hiding? And are there new cups you can pick up? There's so many possibilities with this card, and with everything so intense and with you being a Scorpio, maybe your cups look different than other people's. Maybe you're not built for the regular day to day. Maybe you need something extra special or different from other people, which I know you love. You may not admit to it, but you do love being different. Not so different that you get like bullied and harassed for, which is something I know a lot of Scorpios struggle with. People just like to try to get to you guys. But maybe reimagine your cups this season. And you don't have to, I really don't like the concept of being grateful for stuff. Like, why be grateful for things when it's shit? But like, maybe we're missing some of the cups. Maybe we have more available than we thought. Maybe there are some coming for us and we're really excited. So I do think the season is bringing us some really beautiful emotional gifts, some celebrations with friends, some connections with others. So look out for those. And when you see those opportunities, snag them, take them. Don't let them pass you by and enjoy those cup moments. Sink into them. Like it's like laying on a bed and like fully relaxing your muscles. Do that with the pleasures and joys that you find in Aries season because that's really important. And it's also going to really show you where your desires lie and what you truly want. And maybe when you're reconsidering cups, you come to realize that you've been collecting cups that don't make you happy. And then you can go find some new cups, or you can refurbish the cups that you have, or you can reorganize them. This season is about you starting to realign yourself with the things that you want, especially after kind of the overhaul of the Mars retrograde. And then we have the death card. And, this person is laid out, deceased. Um, and I think this is a fine thing for you to do too. Like, it does feel like you have more activity than a lot of signs have. A lot of the signs I was just like, rest, do nothing. You're going to be probably doing a lot of kind of sorting through your feelings and really realigning yourself, but also let things pass away. And within that, find rest. Within that, rest in peace. Things are passing away, and you are in a death process here with trying to rediscover the things that bring you joy and putting yourself back on a path that makes you happy and fulfilled in whatever unique way you need to feel happy and fulfilled. So, as death is happening, allow yourself in those moments to grieve and to rest and to let those parts of self that no longer need to exist or need to take a break in the very least, let them pass away. And it's okay to grieve and to be sad about it, but it's also just really important to rest and to digest what has happened and what you've experienced and where you're going and what you desire. Um, and then also to let that all go and to let yourself just be and exist. And when you find those moments, be okay with letting things go for a minute. I know with Mars direct, it might feel like now we need to go, go, go. But there are moments of death in this season, and you need to take time to sit with them and to let them be what they are rather than kind of steamrolling them in the name of progress. So take some time to yourself. Take some time to let the death process happen. We live in a country and society where everyone kind of throws out, oh, time's a great healer and move on, and someone will pass away, and we're expected to be at work in the next few days. My brother died. I was expected to be at grad school 2 weeks later. And people only really cared for the first few days, and then I was left in that grief. And that's kind of how we view death as a society, just something to get over. But you are a Mars ruled sign, and you're Scorpio, and you're like modern ruler is Pluto. You need to feel death. You need to participate in it to be a whole, fully functioning person. You need to honor it and to carry out its full and true weight and depth and meaning. And that is a part of this Aries season, is that as spring rises up, so things also pass away. And last but not least, we have the Knight of Wands, which some other signs have gotten too. Have fun. Have fun. Enjoy things. And also, it doesn't need to be big, expansive fun. It can be silly, goofy. Get yourself a little snack that you had as a child, or, you know, dance to some music you haven't danced to in a while. It doesn't need to be massive or big, but it needs to be something easily accessible. Have fun, enjoy things, pursue your passions. This is also going to help you clarify all of this. Also, do what's in front of you. Do what is immediately available to do. Don't try to skip steps. The universe is doing that with the eclipses, anyways. It's literally picking us up and dropping us off at a different location at the end. So don't push yourself. Don't force yourself to be or do more than you need to be. All of the stuff I've talked about, I'm not talking about in the context of you having to do more. It's just you parsing through what you already have and know. You don't need to create anything extra. And within that, not forcing yourself to do stuff, you're probably going to make something really cool. You're probably going to discover something really fun, a new wand to play with, a new exciting passion or desire or dream to pursue. But it's not about creating it or forcing it or manufacturing it. It's about just participating in it through play, through pleasure, through joy, which is really important in a spread that was originally started out with the card The Venom, where we were talking about death and destruction and how to utilize that. Um, I don't want to say in a positive way, but in an activating way for ourselves, you know. So have some fun. Do what is in front of you this season. Don't try to overreach and do too much. And like I said with the 10 of cups, you don't even have to like maybe buy new cups or get new cups, but maybe reconsider the cups you have and rearrange those. And if you want new cups, then, you know, go pick up the cup in front of you. All right, my Scorpios, this was actually, compared to the others, really fun. If you want a real intense one, or you have Gemini placements, check out the Gemini one because it is going to be, that's how I described it to a Gemini I was talking to recently. Aries season for Geminis is going to be a lot. It's not necessarily bad or good, it's just too much of whatever is happening. Anyways, but this was fun. Enjoy this season. Look at it not as like a block or regression, but as you getting the opportunity to realign and reconnect with who you are and what you want, and say no for fun to some people. Or maybe not for fun, maybe because you actually need to say no, but say no and see what happens. It'll be good for you. Anyways, my loves, pop any comments or questions you have below, and please like and subscribe. Makes my day, makes me feel accomplished and appreciated. And I will see you all in a different space and time. Blessed Aries season, blessed spring equinox.